Guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. So today I will be showing you how to do a simple eyebrow. I know there's so many ways you can do your eyebrow with so many different products, but today I'm going to show you the way I like to do them. I feel like my eyebrow tutorial is going to be pretty simple, only because you know, I use as much minimal product as I can and try to do it as quick as possible. So I will show you how to do that today, so go ahead and keep on watching. So as you can see, I don't have any makeup on yet. Only reason being is because I like to do my eyebrows before I start doing my whole face. And that is because I feel like it's a lot easier for the product to glide onto my eyebrow, and that way I don't have to worry about if I mess up or something. I can just take off my eyebrow or erase any product, either, you know, whichever way. So so today I will be using Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color Ebony. That might be a little too dark, but I ran out of my dark brown, but we can still make it work. So yeah, so the Anastasia Brow Wiz. And then I'm going to be using a concealer for this also as well. The concealer is basically just to clean it up, and also a flat brush, a very thin flat brush to clean up under your eyes. And then also you will need some clear brow gel. This is, you know, optional. You don't necessarily have to use this, but it's optional. So a clear brow gel, and the one I'm using is from Anastasia Brow Wiz. And last but not least, a spoolie. This is the most important thing that you should always have in your hand, because this is what's gonna make the product not seem so harsh on your eyebrows, and that's how you can just brush it off a little bit. So okay, let's begin. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and brush out my eyebrow. Okay, so what I'm gonna begin doing is I'm gonna go ahead and start out and draw a line down here. Now the reason I'm drawing this line down here is because I want to pretty much shape out the way I want my eyebrow to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here and trace my line hairs that are already there. Okay, so as you can see, I did the line here already. This is pretty much like you're tracing out the shape first, and then you fill it in. So just make sure you don't go past this line or anything. So, and then after that, we're just gonna fill it in. Now the way that I do it is I feather it on there real lightly. You don't want to go in there really harsh like a crayon, because I feel like that's just gonna come out really dark. So you just want to feather it on there, very light strokes is what you want to do. Now sometimes what I do end up doing is, if I want to do my shape, my actual shape, I also trace the top of my eyebrow and then down. So that way I have an idea on how I'm going to shape it. I sometimes do that, so you pretty much just outline the top, outline the bottom, and then fill in the rest. Now I know my eyebrows don't look like Kim Kardashian's or anybody else's fancy. This is just the way that I like to do them. This is the way I feel like they look natural on my face, so this is why I'm doing them like this. So you want to make sure that you don't put any product about right here, and that is because you just want them to look as natural as possible as you can. So you don't want to put the crayon out all the way into the beginning. I mean, I know if you do end up doing that, you can always just brush it off, of course, but you know, it's just preferable that you don't, so it'll be a lot easier to blend. Now if you do that, then that's completely fine. That's just the way you fill them in. I mean, like I said, everybody has their own preference. So, and don't worry about it if you mess up or go a little bit further than you think, then it is completely fine. We're gonna go back and fix that, and I will show you how. So okay, so if you're satisfied with somewhat of how the shape is, how you like it, then you're done with that. Okay, so now after I've done this, I'm gonna go ahead and get my powder. And obviously you need a brush for the powder, so please don't forget a brush for your powder, for your eyebrow powder. And I'm just gonna do is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill it in. Like, look, if like I'm showing you, like you see how all those little spaces are here. If you don't want to use a crayon, because I mean I feel like crayons go by so quick, so what you want to do is you want to get a powder and just get a powder and then just fill it in. fill in the extra areas that you forgot to fill in. And do you see how it gets a little darker? Now with the leftover powder, I sometimes like to do this just to kind of fill it in at the front. And it still won't look, do you see how it still doesn't look that like really dark, so which is good. And if it does look really dark, that's why you have a spoolie and you fix it. Now like I said, don't worry about any of this, we're gonna clean up all that. And you always have to remember, you guys, that eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. You're gonna try to make them look as identical as you can, but it's fine if they don't. Obviously don't, you know, if you try to make them look as identical as you can, don't make them look really different. So another thing that I really stress is that you ladies, guys, y'all need to use a concealer. I feel like the concealer makes your eyebrow look 10 times better than what it does. It makes it look super sharp, super clean, and it's also good for cleaning up your mistakes whenever you do mess up on your eyebrow. If you make this one thicker than the other one, and that's when you get the concealer. Instead of just having to do your eyebrow all over again, you just get a concealer and just clean it up with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of concealer on my hand right here. I'm sorry if you can't see, but with this flat brush, I'm just going to go ahead and tap just the very tip of it. Nothing too exaggerating, just the very tip of it. And then with the excess of the concealer, just brush it off on the side. And then, so that way you don't have way too much concealer on there. And then we're going to go ahead and clean it up. So what I like to do is obviously just like to clean up along the lines of where I think I put went a little bit lower than my product, or even if you didn't mess up and if you like them, then just clean it up right under there so it can just look super duper clean. Okay, so do you see how much I feel like I can tell a big difference how this one looks a little bit more cleaner than this one. So now with this, we're gonna go ahead and do the other eyebrow. So now I feel like it's just a big difference on cleaning it up. Obviously you're not gonna be able to tell now because you don't have your full face on, but once you do, you can tell like a big difference of when you clean them up. Okay, now sometimes I do this, not all the time, it's only if it's needed. I sometimes have to clean up the top of it if I don't like the way it looks or if I messed up, but this I just do kind of like just the leftover of the concealer that I had in my brush, because I don't want it to be too dramatic up here. Obviously I will sharp them more out whenever I do like a full glam face makeup, but if it's just like a simple day of just doing my eyebrows, then I won't do this, but I'll still show y'all. So I mean, I'm telling you guys, and it doesn't matter if it looks white up here for the concealer that you used, you know, just because you're gonna cover it with foundation. That's why I like doing my eyebrows before I put anything else on my face, for that reason, that if I put too much concealer, if the concealer's too white or anything like that, then it's completely fine because you're still gonna use or put your foundation over that. So last but not least, a setting gel, brow gel. So the one that I showed y'all, of course, I like to use the clear brow gel. There's Anastasia also has a tinted brow gel, or other brands, makeup brands have a tinted brow gel. I personally like the clear brow gel because I already have enough product here, so I don't feel like I need to use a tinted one, since, you know, it'll just basically put more color in. I feel like it'll just add more color to your brow. I feel like, I mean, I haven't really seen any difference. And I also feel like the clear brow gel from Anastasia holds a lot longer than the tinted brow gel. If you have long brow hairs, I have long brow hairs that droop. So if you don't want anything to droop and you want your hairs to stay in place, this is what you need. Okay, you guys, so that's pretty much it for my eyebrow tutorial. I mean, I hope it was pretty easy for y'all. Obviously you don't have to use all of these products that I mentioned, but it is just recommendable. It's just a lot better. It'll make your eyebrows look good. Of course, if you have any questions or anything, please leave it down below. Like and subscribe to my videos down there as well. And yeah, so thank you for watching, you guys. And if y'all have any other recommendations or anything, or any videos you want me to do, I will most likely be happy to do them for you. So yeah, so y'all have a good day, guys. Bye.